I was midway through my morning coffee when the rhythmic chanting and heavy breathing drifted through my kitchen window, making me pause mid-sip, wondering if some bizarre sect had invaded my yard. Peering out, I nearly spat out my drink. There was Sharon, decked in glaring neon green leggings that could sear your retinas, orchestrating a full yoga session on my front porch like she was the landlord. 10 random people had unrolled mats across my steps, trampling my doormat under their bare feet, while a speaker blasted ocean waves as if I'd volunteered to host a wellness resort. My jaw hit the floor, coffee spilling over the mug's edge as I watched my own private space morph into a humid nirvana without a single ask. Sharon, the epitome of boldness, flailed her arms like a wannabe sage, proclaiming, "Embrace the communal energy of this shared haven," as if my deed-holding property was suddenly a free-for-all park. That instant, something in me teetered on the edge of explosion. But rather than bursting out in fury, I reined it in, knowing a rash move would paint me as the unhinged one in the neighborhood gossip mill. Swallowing my anger, I set the mug down, plastered on a fake smile, and stepped out, scheming a comeback that could go viral if executed perfectly. Clearing my throat, I geared up for a civil chat. But Sharon spotted me and waved a polished hand dismissively, shushing me like a disruptive kid in her sacred ritual. "Namaste, neighbor," she cooed with a condescending smirk. "Hope you're cool with this. Your porch catches the prime morning rays for my clients. Just an hour, tops." The sheer gall of her perched on my welcome mat, dictating terms while a stranger dripped sweat on my entryway. It had to be hilarious if it weren't my life. Keeping my tone even despite the tremor of rage, I shot back that yes, I very much minded. This was my home, my porch, and they had 5 minutes to vacate before I involved authorities. Sharon's grin widened like a predator toying with prey. She pivoted to her group, declaring theatrically, "We've got an energy disruption. Channel your inner peace against this negativity." Suddenly, I was the villain, barefoot in my doorway, ignored by 10 lotus-posed intruders on my turf. Civility wasn't cutting it. I stormed down the steps, planting myself square between Sharon and her flock, eclipsing the sun she deemed essential, and demanded they scram or face regrets. That's when Sharon dropped her bombshell. She insisted it was communal turf backed by HOA wellness mandates, and I was duty-bound as a good neighbor to share. My porch, bought, maintained, and scrubbed by my hands, was apparently fair game because she decreed it. Laughter erupted from me, echoing down the block, drawing stares from passers-by, the absurdity hitting sitcom levels. Sharon's expression hardened, her grip on the story slipping, but she escalated, broadcasting to her class that some folks just despise joy. Flipping the script to make me the antagonist, eyeing the garden hose nearby, a devious spark ignited. Without another word, I sauntered over, cranked the valve, and unleashed a frigid cascade across the porch, drenching mats, outfits, zen vibes, and a gobsmacked Sharon, whose zen facade shattered into shrieks as she shielded her perfect hair. The yogis bolted like spooked birds, slipping on slick wood, wailing about ruined phones and lost serenity. Sharon bellowed my name like I torched her world. But the thrill of reclaiming my space with watery vengeance outweighed her outrage. Shutting off the flow, I locked eyes and deadpanned, class dismissed, before retreating to my tepid coffee. Sharon wasn't quitting. Peeking out later, I saw her sodden and seething, rallying her soaked survivors, vowing I'd rue the day. My phone pinged with a neighbor's text. Sharon was already spinning tales of my assault on innocent exercisers. This wasn't a fluke intrusion. It was war's opening salvo. As she flounced off like a drenched peacock, 2 truths crystallized. This feud was far from finished, and by its end, Sharon would steer clear of my porch unless craving epic shame, lawsuits, or a payback so sharp she'd regret ever downward dogging near me. The porch skirmish had ignited, and victory was mine to seize. The morning post-yoga felt eerily still, like the hush before a tempest. Standing on my reclaimed porch, I eyed the damp remnants of faint mat imprints on my doormat, a lingering patulous scent. The air crackled with unspoken suspense. Neighbors seemed braced for Sharon's counterstrike. I'd landed the first real hit, but Sharon, self-crowned HOA overlord, wouldn't slink away defeated. By mid-morning, retaliation arrived. A frilly note shoved under my door, cursive so vicious it screamed, accusing me of breaching community ethos, endangering peaceful folk, and threatening legal escalation unless I chilled my hostility. I reread it, chuckled louder the second pass, then bawled and binned it. Glittery threats from a porch poacher wouldn't faze me. Noon brought Sharon in person, charging my driveway with shades like armor and HOA printouts flapping. Skipping hellos, she monologued on neighborhood harmony via shared wellness, claiming no right to bar her from my porch during designated hours and boasting of reporting my water assault to officials. I cut in loud for the eavesdropping gardener next door. No such hours existed. This porch was mine, funded by my sweat, and her cult was persona non grata. She sneered like I was a petulant child, thrusting papers at me, labeling me selfish for hoarding underused space. In her warped view, my sunrise sanctuary was communal fodder. Fists clenched to curb a yell, I grasped she didn't just crave my spot. She fancied herself a savior, liberating it for the greater good. Debate was futile. I pivoted, saying if my porch was public, her driveway was my parking zone, and I'd test a lemonade stand in her yard. Her smirk flickered, a nerve struck, but she recovered, huffing, "Try it. The community backs me." This wasn't Sharon versus me. It was entitlement versus reason. And to triumph, I'd outwit her lunacy. That night, notepad in hand, I mapped her plays and my riposts. Sharon fed on dominance, rule-bending, gaslighting crowds that black was white if it suited. Letting her vilify meant drowning in bogus gripes. Strategy was key, precise, exposing, ensuring she'd never dare again. Next day, Sharon mobilized sycophants, loitering my fence, muttering wellness while glaring like I was Scrooge. One slipped a "Porch Yoga with Sharon" flyer on my mailbox, 8 a.m. daily, all invited. Snap. I photographed every flyer, lurker, Sharon's taunting struts with snide jabs at greedy owners. Evidence piled. I needed to counter her fiction. Cracks showed. Not all adored her, eye rolls during rants, covert apologies to me. Exposure was my ace. Her reign endured only via unchallenged facade. Third morning, chalk arrows guided from sidewalk to my porch, like inviting invasion. War flag raised. A fence idea bloomed, not mere lock, but a fortress so stark her delusions couldn't breach. Afternoon online hunts yielded quick fences, beefy locks, auto-sprayers for intruders. It transcended barring Sharon, messaging all entitlement in spandex that my land wasn't her playground. Evening, spying Sharon conspiring across the street, fury fused with resolve. This was wills clashing, defending mine against her boundary-blind hubris. She'd bully me into yielding. She misjudged. I'd counter savvier, fiercer, louder than she dreamed. 3 days post-debacle, shouts yanked me awake. Blinds up, Sharon front and center, phone glued, gesticulating at my porch to 2 cop cars. Officers looked bemused as she hammed up tales of my menace. I emerged, seizing narrative. She accused harassment, perilous sprays, threats to serene citizens on shared ground. Cops queried me. I recounted trespasses, pleas ignored, sprinkler defense backed by pics, vids, HOA rules. Sharon yapped interruptions, but her hysteria bred doubt. One officer, "Ma'am, private property. Trespass again, you're ticketed." Her mask cracked, shock, wrath, shame, before feigning fear of my violence. Cop eyed her. "Go home. Stop stirring." Cars gone, Sharon whirled, hissing, "Think you won? It's not over." She clicked away. I knew she meant business. Later, a suited woman in my drive with clipboard beamed. "Quick tour. Clients keen. Sharon said it's listing soon. Great spot." Choking, I clarified, Not for sale, never was, Sharon had no say. Realtor flushed, apologized, revealed Sharon pitched to 3 agents that week for private showings. Audacity peaked, not content invading, harassing, cop calling, now faking my home sale to torment. Fury paced my kitchen. Politeness ended. I'd match dirt with dirt. Evening, I filmed everything, Sharon's snarks, flyer hangers, dated narrations. Not self-defense anymore. Prepping for showdown. Escalation mounted, yoga on sidewalk blocking my drive, chants deafening, daring outbursts for harassment claims. Complaining, she smirked, public space, my right. Morning chalk taunts, wellness for all, blood boiled, but resolve steeled. Hitting her ego was key. Dismantle her hero act, reveal manipulative desperation in athleisure. Quiet chats unearthed Sharon's history. Commandeering yards as community zones, rumor-mongering dissenters, finding illegal chairs she disliked. Folks weary but cowed by her barrages. Not me. Plan solidified, fence barrier plus timed exposure with flair, ensuring table turns so brutal she'd flee my porch forever. To end this farce, reaction wasn't enough. Offense was how memory fueled Operation Fence Trap. Calculated, timed, ego-crushing surveillance pegged patterns. Alternate afternoons, her SUV half-blocking my drive during gossip jaunts. Opening seized. Trusted handyman consulted, quick fence around car, sans damage. He laughed, then grinned. Under an hour, supplies gathered, panels, locks, chains, private property, trespassers prosecuted, signs. Prep reclaimed agency, anticipation burned sweet. Discreetly tipped supportive neighbors to film meltdown, unveiling her unvarnished. Day came. Sharon parked, encroaching, sauntered off yapping peaceful protests. She vanished, handyman rolled up. We erected a square barrier around her SUV, anchored, locked, signed, looked official, inescapable without dismantling or confessing trespass. Weight was electric. Neighbors clustered, phones poised, one with a chair for the spectacle. Hour later, Sharon froze mid-strut, face cycling disbelief to crimson fury. She lunged, shook panels, screeched my name. Remove this now. Porch bound with coffee, I boomed for all, protecting from unauthorized vehicles. You call it shared? Sharon, share no longer. Snickers rippled. She floundered, vowing cops. I dared her, offering footage of her illegal parks. Threats flew, suits, but each boomeranged her entitlement, ensnaring her. Neighbors recorded. One victim whispered, best day ever. Bolt cutters fetched, but cops arrived, dispute call. They lectured, repeated trespasses, fence legal, tampering might arrest for vandalism. Backfire epic, her tool turned weapon. Post-fence night hummed victory. Clips circulated, laughter echoed, but Sharon plotted louder reprisal. I sensed it, sipping under porch light. Fence justice beaconed hope she'd fold. Naive, dethroned desperates clawed back. Pre-dawn pounding, Sharon, disheveled, yoga pants rumpled, ranting vehicle kidnap, illegal barricade, HOA swarm if not unlocked. I countered, apologize publicly, admit trespasses, vow porch abstinence. Jaw slack, she accused blackmail, stormed off vowing endless fight. Mid-morning, reinforcements, loyalists plus a lawyer in a rumpled suit, likely bribed kin. They demanded dismantle, waving fake bylaws on illegal alterations. Crowds' faint cheers watched. I replayed vids, her parks, trespasses, cop rebukes. Lawyer blanched, pal squirmed. Sharon doubled, trap setter, community endangerer, escalating to bigwigs. I invited calls. Crowd chuckled. Round 2. She summoned a tow. Driver-eyed fence, signs, can't tow from private without owner, she parked illegal. He left. Sharon erupted, stomping amid sarcastic claps. Facade chipped, fear replaced smugness. Afternoon, desperate bargains for coexistence. I demanded public apologies to all harassed, lie admissions, HOA weapon cease. Refusal. But fear glinted, she knew. I held firm. Fence endured. Ego eroding hourly. Next dawn, SUV trapped, Sharon subdued, no stomps, taunts. Thanks from passers-by. Air shifted. Her terror cracked, but storm brewed. Afternoon, clipboard and speaker, minions trailing, community meeting in street amplifying tyranny rants, my hatred versus her harmony, recasting water as assault, fence as imprisonment. I let lies marinate, then advanced with phone, playing vids to crowd, trespasses, ignored cop truths. Silence stunned. Her paler grew. Then neighbor tales, years of bullying, rumors, fake fines. Crowd turned, adding stories, murmurs to glares. HOA press arrived, rebuking, fence legal, her acts violated bylaws, warned fines, suits, board ouster if continued. Speechless, clipboard clutched, whispers swelled, her myth shattered. Meeting scattered, Sharon slunk home, fence her defeat emblem. But war wasn't neighborhood anymore, collective stand. Handshakes, thanks, lightness bloomed, community real sands her grip. Evening porch sit, stars above, peace profound. Buzzes, gratitude texts. Absurd escalation from bill worries to porch siege. But standing firm shifted all. Dawn brighter, but finale loomed. Sharon emerged, theatrical in black, crew with cams, mics, staging victim exposé. Teary proclamations, fence prison, rights violated, neighbor hostility fears. Crowd phones ready, chuckling. 2 minutes ranted, then I played vids, trespasses, screams, house sales scam echoed truths. Froze her tears. Crew faltered, shouts, yoga on stolen porches. Sharon screeched, cut. Too late, recordings everywhere. HOA press, board flanking, announced board stripping for harassment, abuse, lies, defamation. Cheers erupted, relief, joy unleashed. No allies, threats drowned in laughter. Defeated, she muttered apology, admitted trespasses, vowed distance. I unlocked. She drove off, humiliated, rubble her legacy. Cheers shook, backslaps, footage replayed, jokes flew. Press vowed anti-harass rules, unanimous. Street felt communal, respect trumping manipulation. Sunset porch coffee, sanctuary. No mats, chalk, flyers, peace earned, sweeter post-chaos. War from entitlement ended in justice, truth, fearless block. Sharon might scheme, but powerless, voice mere noise in an awakened neighborhood.